Good morning there, boys and girls. It's your old buddy Don back here again with Adventures of the Broken Retired. Figure I'd cover a couple things with you while I got a minute. I'm waiting for some rendering to finish up on the computer. I'll explain that to you in a minute. A couple things I'm going to run by you real quick just for fun. Today is September 21st. That makes it 2 months that I've been doing this YouTube thing. I stumbled into this, okay? I had been watching YouTube videos for a long time, and I thought, man, one of these days I'm going to give that a shot. And it just kind of worked out. The timing just kind of worked out, and I was able to do it. I was completely ignorant to everything, okay? Completely ignorant to everything. It took me a lot of hours to get to the amount of knowledge that I have on the subject now, which still is minimal, okay? I'm not even really down with the basics yet, but I know some things. And because I know some things, and because I'm early in the stages, I figured, you know what? I'm going to make a video, and I'm going to talk to people who are just getting into it, are unfamiliar. I'm going to cover with you some of my experiences, and hopefully you can avoid some of the pitfalls that I did. I started out with the telephone, which is the same phone that I'm literally using right now. And as it turns out, at first I thought to myself, man, I'm going to have to get something better than this. It's so limited, I can't edit. The only editing I had was the pause button. That's why in the early videos, there's part 1, part 2, part 3, is because I had no way of stringing them together. I had no way of doing any editing other than pausing it. And it took me a while to figure out that I could edit button pause. But anyway, some of the videos that came out on the phone came out really bad. And so the next big decision that I knew I was going to need an editing program. But the next big decision that I made was, you know what? I'm going to go get a camera. If I'm going to do this, and I talked to Amy about this, and she said, well, if you're going to do it, you might as well do it. So I went out and bought a camera. And the camera came with, didn't come with, I had to buy it, but it came with a suggested editing program. And me not knowing anything at all about editing programs, I thought, hey, an editing program, and it's made for the camera. So it's going to work really good with the camera, and it's going to be paired up nice. And the camera itself, in all honesty, first of all, I'm going to tell you straight up, in all honesty, I did not need the camera. It's nice to have. I do plan on getting a lot of use out of it. It was expensive, but it's a Hero 13, GoPro Hero 13. But I really didn't need it. So if you're getting into this and just starting out doing stuff, don't think you need a camera, because you don't. Your phone will work just fine as long as I'm not sure what version. This is an iPhone. I'm not sure what version it is. It's only probably 3 or 4 months old, something like that, 5 months old. My other one quit working, so they become obsolete so quickly. But anyhow, so I've got this, and this telephone it has the worst camera they offer. It's only got one lens. A lot of the new phones have 3 lenses. This has only got one. When I bought the phone, I had no intention of using it for anything else besides a phone. So the extra money for the fancy camera made absolutely no sense at all. A bad decision on my part. I've been known to make bad decisions. Oh, by the way, Elmer says hello. I've been known to make bad decisions in the past. And I should have got the good camera, but I had no use for it at the time, okay? I didn't need it. I didn't spend money on something I don't need. The camera that I bought, I didn't need to do that, but I did it because I was ignorant. I had no experience in this, and I asked around a little bit and took advice from folks and made the decision to do it, and I got the editing program with it, and then it turned out the editing program would only work on the phone, which turned out to be an advantage that it worked on the phone. Not that it only worked on the phone, but it turned out to be an advantage that it worked on the phone because I had the editor and access to all the information with me all the time because I was self-employed for a long time and I made my living with a telephone. So this phone is surgically attached, you know. So whenever I had downtime, waiting for floor glue to flash off or do whatever, I could work on videos. As time went on through the editing program, I found out all the things that is GoPro Quick mobile. There is no GoPro Quick for a desktop computer anymore. Otherwise, I'd have got it. But, excuse me, it's a good example of pause button editing. When I started out, that was the only editing capability I had. And it took a while to realize that I had that. Anyway, the GoPro Quick app, there was so many things that it wouldn't do, and I was extremely frustrated, and I sat behind this computer system many an hour trying to figure out how to get the camera to do stuff, and I didn't know, as I've said before, I didn't know if the problem was I couldn't do it because I didn't know how, or I didn't know how because it couldn't be done. There's no phone number to call, which I understand why, because if I'd have got them on the phone, I'd have been on the phone with them for days. They never could have helped me over the phone. So I understand why they don't do that. That's a losing proposition. You have to start with some basic knowledge. And what I'm trying to do here is give you some basic knowledge. So there's a bunch of things that the GoPro turned out that it wouldn't do. So I asked some people, I've talked about this before, I asked some people and I stuck my nose in some places and I kept my eyes out like I was looking for the Sasquatch. I think that's a funny video. I think it's a funny video. Anyway, and I decided on the editing program. I was going to get a Filmora for the desktop. Okay, that's important. I got Filmora 13, I think, for the desktop. And when I tell you that editing program works, for me, I'm still preschool. When I tell you that editing program works like a champ and is easy to use and easy to understand. Now, I did have some editing program experience with GoPro Quick, but that is the limit of my editing experience at all, period, zippo. By the way, neither GoPro nor Quick nor Filmora, Filmora Wondershare, none of them are contributing to my video. That would be cool if they were, but none of them are contributing anything to this video. This is all just straight up what it is. But the Filmora editing thing works very well. And what I started out doing was I had to learn it. So I watched some instructional videos, which Filmora, and I'm not sure if these people that put these videos out work for Filmora or not, but Filmora has editing program videos that are much better done, much more understandable, much more user-friendly. That's what I'm looking for. Much more user-friendly than I could find for GoPro Quick. On GoPro Quick, everything happened real fast. On the Filmora stuff, they walk you through step by step. And they don't make any assumptions about you knowing anything, because I didn't know anything. But and you can see in my videos how much they've changed. I'm assuming you've seen some, that's why you're watching this. But you can see in my videos how much they've changed because of that. But at first, I was just using the telephone for the camera, okay? I didn't use the GoPro, I just used my phone, and I did that because I wanted to start out small, slow, and easy. I want to learn one little piece at a time, then learn the next little piece, and learn the next little piece. So I learned it on the phone. And yesterday, the last video that I released, I think, was the Sasquatch video. Excuse me. I'm sorry. The last video that I released was the Sasquatch video. That was done on my phone. You know, I've been knowing that statue has been there for a while. And there's nowhere to park on the road. Nowhere to park on the road to be able to get a, I mean, you could stop real quick and stick your hand out the window and get a picture, but you can't, there's nowhere to park to be able to get out and make a video. And the little bit of shoulder on the road that there is, which is only about 3 feet, is cut with a bush hog. So there's a bunch of little tree trunk spikes, about 1 inch around, this tall, sticking up, which are just like designed by God himself to puncture tires. And that's what I need. I need a couple of punctured tires, right? So I was riding down the road when I went to film that thing. I was riding down Alligator Bayou Road, and I wasn't 100% sure where it was, so I was going kind of slow. And then I saw it. Oh, there it is. And I'm looking for somewhere to pull over, and there was a guy standing out there in the yard. And so I pulled into there was a little entrance there to drive on his grass. And I pulled into that little entrance on the grass, and he waved me out like this. I went and talked to him, told him who I was, what I was going to do. He said, whatever turns you on, brother, go ahead, have fun, which I thought was real nice of the guy, you know. He could have told me, get out of here, you're crazy. But he didn't. He was real nice. He was real friendly. I really do appreciate that for him doing that, because he gave me complete control. He didn't stand there and watch me or nothing. He just went on his business doing what he was doing. But anyhow, I did that with the phone. Then after that, I forgot to bring the tripod and the GoPro with me, which I'm kind of glad now, because I'd have probably recorded Sasquatch with the GoPro. So I came home, got the GoPro, went out and did the Swamp Road video, which I'm going to release here in just a minute. You're probably going to end up seeing that one before you see this one, because it's just about done rendering finally. And I sat here from probably 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon till around 7 o'clock last night, with a break in there for making dinner and watching Three Stooges that come on at 5 o'clock. Hang on. Excuse me. I am a huge Three Stooges fan, and it's currently September on MeTV. And then after the Stooges, 7 Central comes on Svengoolie. And I used to watch, Amy and I used to sit down in front of the TV and watch Svengoolie just absolutely religiously. Not so much anymore. Once you've seen a few B-rated 1950s horror films, you've pretty much seen them all. But some of them are real good. Some of them are Vincent Price movies, Bela Lugosi movies. That's not what I'm here to talk about. I was here to talk about progress on the computer thing. Anyway, if you've never seen Svengoolie on MeTV Saturday nights, watch it. You'll enjoy yourself. And then after, I don't know how it does it where you're at, but after that comes on the original Batman series, and the original Star Trek series comes on after it too. And I am a huge, Amy and I both are huge original series Star Trek fans. One of these days I'm going to make a video about it, but I'm afraid I'm going to get in trouble for copyright infringement. But either way, let's get back to this. So I checked into it and I asked around. Heard that? Checked into it and I asked around, and I decided to get the Filmora, and I got the Filmora, and the Filmora is the way to go. I mean, it is so easy, so smooth, so clean, so user-friendly. There's so much stuff it'll do. I haven't scratched the surface of what it's capable of yet. I'm still learning how to do it, but I did it all with the phone, and I decided yesterday I'm going to take the GoPro, make a video, the Swamp Road video that you're going to see after this, because this can probably come out after that. And then I came home and I'm all excited, and I went to upload it from the camera to the cloud and then go from the cloud to the computer, or upload it from the camera straight to the computer. I sat around here and I couldn't make it work to save my life. I worked from the time I got home yesterday afternoon to about 7 o'clock last night, 7:30 last night, trying to make it work, and just couldn't do it. Very, very frustrating. Couldn't do it. I could get it to the computer, but whenever I went to playback, the video was real jerky. And no matter what I did, I couldn't make it stop doing it. And I got up early this morning, came down here, got back after it. I had thought about it overnight, thinking, well, it's probably this, or probably this, or probably this, and was wrong on every single one. I did learn a whole bunch of functions on the Filmora editing program by doing that, so it worked out for the better. So finally, I started rubbing my eyes and cried Molly, and it took Molly about 5 minutes to figure it out. Evidently, the video has to be rendered. Now, the rendering thing, you don't have to do it with the phone, or when you do it with the phone, it only takes a couple of minutes, a few minutes. I'm not sure if it's a couple minutes. It's probably closer to a few minutes or 30 minutes or something like that. But it's a 9-minute, 22-second video, and it took 2 hours for the, what did I call it? It's not recommending. Anyway, it took rendering. It took about 2 hours for it to go through the first stage of rendering. Once it was through that stage, I was able to work with it normally on the computer and do the editing. It all went very smooth. It was a little slower than some of the other videos I've done, but it worked out very, very well. Then to export it, I've got to render it again, and the rendering took a long time. Matter of fact, I think that noise you heard just a minute ago was the rendering finally finishing up. Got the screen turned off so I don't get the glare on camera. So the GoPro is shooting video that is such high quality, such higher quality than the phone, that the computer has a hard time working with it. So good, because it's much higher quality product. Bad, because it's a 9-minute and 22-second video that took 2 hours to originally render. It renders it frame by frame, and it was 16,440 frames. So it took a while. I started thinking, I'm going to have to go buy a new computer system now, which I'm not going to do because I can't afford one. I'm going to have to go buy a new computer system now just so I can do this rendering thing. But I've thought about it, and I'm going to try to get it right. And worse come to worse, if 9 minutes takes 2 hours, then 18 minutes will take 4 hours, and 36 minutes will take 8 hours. And a 36-minute video is not uncommon. So what I'll end up doing is I'll end up pressing the render button right before I go to bed and just leave the computer running all night to let it render. And then you come back the next day, do all the editing, and then press the button again that night and let it spend its time rendering, and then be able to post it the next day. I just don't like having to wait. I am not a wait kind of guy. Wait, E-I-G-H-T, I got that. A-I-T, nope, I'm not a wait kind of guy. I don't want to wait. I want it now. But I have been taught patience by this stuff, and now I have an option. I can either be patient or I can be patient. So I have chosen option both, which is be patient. Sit tight. All right, so I have now rambled on for about 18 minutes. This is on the phone, so the rendering won't take that long. Don with Adventures of the Broken Retired. I've been putting those things in. I like the music, and I like the way the opening things came out. Opening and closing things came out. The music sounds happy to me. So I'm gonna keep putting those in there. I'm tweaking how much time the music plays. Don't want too little. More importantly, don't want it too much. Don't want people changing the channel because they're sick of listening to the music. The Filmora editing thing. Watch a whole bunch of, before you buy it, watch a whole bunch of tutoring videos. Filmora for beginners. Watch it on the version you plan to buy, which is what I did. I didn't watch it on one that was older or one that was newer. I watched it on 13 because I didn't want to know how the ones I wasn't going to buy work. I wanted to know how the ones I was going to buy work. That way, when you get it, there's still some stuff that's kind of funny. But that way, when you get it, you know it's going to work. It likes to go, when you first click on it, like it comes up, it says project. And you click on the project to start a new project. The screen just goes blank and there's no little Walmart wheel spinning around telling you it's thinking. There's nothing. It just goes away. And at first I was like, oh, what did I do? I'm sitting there waiting and I would start it again and I'd eventually end up with two of them up on the screen. It just does that. That's just how it works. And once you get it up on your screen, the options are almost endless with what you can do. And the operation it's preschool. I'm telling you, it's Sesame Street. If you're going to get an editing program, I would suggest what worked for me was the Filmora. Anyway, thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate it. Elmer says, hey, and thanks. Oh, and it's like I said, 2 months. We've been together for 2 months now. I feel like I've known you my whole life. And I do feel like I've known you my whole life. Y'all a great bunch of people. Thank you so much.